So, you want to move to a swamp, have a best friend that's a donkey, and look for a princess across the land for a guy named Farquaad. I think it's already been done, but you can give it a shot. Hey guys, welcome back to TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we're back once again taking a look at how to change this into this. So I want to go ahead and go through all the process and all the steps that I took to kind of transform this thumbnail, as it is, this thumbnail, and just kind of make it look a little cooler, do a little more things to it. So I like these kind of videos. We've done these a little bit, and I kind of want to just share the process with you guys today because I think this kind of thing is just super cool. This kind of graphic art's kind of like, you know, kind of wave. I think it's really sweet. So let's go ahead. I'll go layer by layer. So essentially, it's not too many things going on here. It's nothing too crazy. So the first one's just these little hearts. And then we have the kind of Lomo around the edge, the vignette around the edge of the screen. A second vignette just to make things a little darker. And then all of these is like all of the red highlights and red overlays on everything. And then we have the white highlights on the left-hand side. Two of those. We have the character itself. And then we have this little, swirl thing. A little bloom kind of thing going on there, which is just to highlight the character a little bit. And there you go. And then this is the sparkle for the hearts, so it's just to make the hearts a little bit more visible. There you go. And then the background itself. So, and this other one, we don't need that. So essentially what I did was I started off with this screenshot. Actually, I started off with the character, honestly. Started off with the character. I made this in Blender. We've made tutorials about how to do that kind of thing in the past. I will go ahead. There's a rig that I just recently found that I like quite a lot. So I might make a tutorial if you guys want to see a Minecraft rig tutorial kind of posing thing. I guess I found one that I really like that works only in cycles. It only works in cycles, but it's very, very cool. So I started off with this character. And what I did was I actually took the screenshot myself in Minecraft, but I found a screenshot, took a screenshot, whatever you're gonna do for whatever piece you're working on. If it's Minecraft, if it's Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, whatever you're doing. It doesn't have to be games either. It can be literally anything. This kind of method applies to anything. So I just took a screenshot that I thought looked really good, kind of highlighted the character in a way. And I just blurred it. So I went up to blur, Gaussian blur, and I blurred it. I think by like. I think 10 or 15 or something like that, just to give it a little bit of depth, so it's not super clear, super clarity, wise. It's kind of, down a little bit, and it's not super clariful, that's not a word. And then I went ahead and I just made it all the same color. So I went to colors, colorize, and then I made it all the same color. I turned the saturation up, turned the lightness up a little bit, and then I just went full with the red color there, super saturated, and I went on with the red. There you go. Nice. Once that's done, I think I did go up to colors, curves, and then I played with the brightness a little bit, the curves of this, so I kind of like boosted the highs, darkened the lows, that kind of thing. And then what I did was it needs more separation from the background. So the second thing that I did was I went ahead and I started doing the color highlights. So essentially I just took a very big brush and I just painted two big red circles. I'll show you what this looks like on a black background. I painted two big reddish circles on the that is not what I wanted to do. Alright, I painted two big-ish red circles on the top left and the bottom right of the screen. I'll take it out of the group. There you go. So you can see we have these two super big soft circles with the brush tool, just at a super high size like this, and just painted like boom, like that, boom, on the top and the bottom. I got rid of this little piece here because it was too bright on the sword, and I didn't want it to be that bright on the sword, so I kind of got rid of that little piece there. What I did was I right-clicked the character, and I hit New Layer Group, and what that did is it created a group. I stuffed the character into that, and I stuffed this highlight into that, so then it only affected the character. It didn't touch anything else. It didn't touch the background. It only affected the character because they're in the same group. And then once I did that, I added some highlights around the edge of the character some more, and some other places I wanted, so it looks like this, essentially. So, yeah, it's just like super crazy outside of the group, but when you put it inside the group and you put it on screen, make sure it's on screen. All these layers, all these highlight layers, make sure they're all set to screen. Or else it'll look like this when you put it in the group. It won't look any different. Make sure you put it on screen once it's in the group, and then it'll only affect the group. So there you go, that one as well. I have one for the sword. So the sword one is pretty crazy. It just highlights the sword like that, which is really cool. I have a second one for the sword just to give it a little bit more highlight. There you go. And then we have the cooler things going on here. So we have the white lights essentially. So if I put this on normal, you can see this is what it looks like. It's kind of just like highlighting the areas I wanted to highlight, which is I think that the sun is not the sun, but the light source is kind of coming from this direction. So it's kind of like coming like that, boom, So it's hitting mostly this area, the shield, and then this is like a backlighting situation for the leg and the arm there. And then what I did is I put that in the group, and then I put that on overlay. So then it kind of just only touches the character. Then I duplicated it just so it's a little bit brighter because I didn't think it was bright enough. And that's literally all for the character. That's all that I did to the character in relation to the background. So if I turn the background back on, you can see it already looks a million times better with just a little bit of things we did. So that's, once again, that's the red circle, the red like bloom circles up at the top and the bottom. That's what that looks like. That is the highlight, second highlight, and then the sword highlight, and then more character highlights, just in some various places to kind of soften things up and make it look like the background's really glowing. It's really bright and hot, like it's like lava or some kind of really bright light sources coming from behind them or something like that. But yeah, so then after that we can add back in the Lomo, which is essentially, if I put this on a white background, you can see what this looks like in relation to, there you go. So it's kind of just like a super soft black outline on the left and right hand sides of the screen. And then I have the second one, which is kind of like framing the rest of the scene. So it's kind of like, just on the edges, in some various locations. It just kind of, makes everything look a little darker, you know what I mean? Which looks nice with the background, obviously. It makes it look a little darker. If it makes you focus on the character more, it gets your eye away from the edges of the screen and kind of puts it in the center, which looks a little cool. And then finally we have the pixel art hearts, which I actually drew by hand. So I just kind of zoomed in, used the pencil tool, and I kind of just boom, 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 boom. It kind of just made my own heart, and then I just scaled it up. And when I scaled it up, I had to make sure interpolation was on none, or else, because if it was on cubic, it would have made it blurry, but I had to make sure it was on none. So when you go to the scale tool, make sure it is on none instead of cubic. All right. And then once that's done, that's literally basically it. And then we have three more layers I want to talk about, which is the glow on the back of the hearts, which is essentially just a white, soft brush like that, just set to overlay. Just set to overlay. So you can see we have a little bit of separation from the background and from the hearts, because at a small size on the thumbnail, it's kind of hard to see the difference between the black and the background there. So I just put a little bit of white there so we can get rid of that dissonance that we had. All right, nice. With the next thing is literally the glow behind the character, just to kind of make them stand out a little bit. So essentially, this is just the character that I duplicated, the same character, this guy, just duplicated him, and then put it beneath our character. So put the glow beneath our character. Went up to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, blurred it up a little bit, a good bit, and then just set it to dodge. I set the mode to dodge, and then because dodge makes everything super bright, I had to go to colors, curves, and then just kind of turn the brightness down a little bit, and then we have something that looks like this, which looks really cool. And then finally we have this guy right here, which is also set to dodge, which is essentially all I did was I duplicated the character. We'll do this live on screens together. I duplicated the character. I put it beneath the character, outside of the group. Make sure it's not in the group. I changed the mode to dodge. You can't see anything happening right now because our other character's in the way, so it looks like this essentially right now. And then what I did was I used this warp tool, and I clicked this, and I kind of moved it around like this. You know what I mean? I kind of just moved our character around until I got something that I thought looked cool. There you go. And then after I did that, I went to blur Gaussian blur, and then I blurred that a little bit so it didn't look super sharp. So just like something like that. And then what I ended up with was something like this, which I think looks really cool. We have this cool, harder edge down here. We have the super softer stuff over this way. I just think it looked really, really sweet. So yeah, that is literally all that I did for this thumbnail, for this thing, to make it look that different. So it looks that different just from those things that we did. I hope you, ladies and gentlemen, learned something new. I hope you enjoyed this kind of transformation, image trans. I think I start calling these image transformation videos. I don't know. They're really, really fun to me. They're really cool to me to see the difference in these kind of art pieces like this. But yeah, if you want to see more of this kind of thing, let me know down below. As always, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have having a fantastic day. I will see you in the next one. But until then, bye bye.